to belly facing down with the roller underneath your thighs. We'll do a little bit more rolling out, and then we'll continue on with our strengthening. Whew. Some knots today. And then find a stopping point where you feel a little tender spot. You're going to bend your knees and straighten your knees. And then finish with both knees bent and sway your feet side to side. And then roll out again. Find a tender spot. Might be the same spot, might be a different spot, and bend and straighten. And then with both knees bent, sway your feet side to side. Come back to the center. Come off of your roller, and you're going to place your calf muscles on top of the roller. And you could do both at the same time if they're pretty sore today, or you could cross one leg over the other to add a little bit of pressure and then roll out. And there are two calf muscles. There's one that's towards the bottom, one that's towards the top. So make sure you roll kind of down here along your Achilles towards what's called your soleus, that bottom calf muscle, and then also roll up here to the big one up here, your gastrocnemius. And you can also roll forward and backwards or rock side to side. And then switch legs. And you can roll around the outside, towards the outside of the leg, the inside of the leg, down near your Achilles or the soleus muscle, up towards your gastrocnemius. Ooh, got a few knots. I don't know about you. Probably you too. And then have a seat on top of the roller. Actually, if you want to, if you feel like for a moment, if you have tight, like last week, I don't know what I did. Something I did at class on Tuesday and then walking on, in Brooklyn on Wednesday. My hamstrings were so sore. Actually, usually I don't even feel like today I don't really feel it. But most days I don't really feel rolling out my hamstrings. But whoa, I rolled out on Thursday. So sore. So if you need a moment, feel free to roll out your hamstrings a little bit too. And then have a seat on top of the roller. I don't know what I did to you guys on Tuesday, but I felt, or something I did on Tuesday. I felt it on Wednesday. So have your hands behind the roller. One ankle crossed over the opposite knee, and shift your weight towards the tush of the leg that's crossed. And you're going to roll on those glute muscles from the top of the pelvis down towards your sit bone. You can go forward and backwards. You can go side to side. Whatever feels the best. And then come back to the center, uncross your legs and switch legs. Shift to that side of the tush. Roll up those glutes. Get up towards the top of the pelvis, down towards your sit bone. You can go tip even further over, to get a little further over to the side. Whatever feels good, experiment. And then if you want, you can rock side to side. And then have a seat on top of the roller. And or if you can stop, if the sitting on top just feels a little too wobbly, you can also sit up on the floor, sit in a chair, excuse me, but cross one leg over the other. And want to keep the body straight and just bring your body forward. Again, if this feels like too much, you could do it here instead, or how we oftentimes will do it is just lying on the floor and grabbing your thigh and giving your glutes a little stretch. So that's the figure 4 stretch. Or for today's purposes, because we're going to do something else after this, feel free to do it sitting, but you can, any version is fine with me. So the seated version, as I fall off my roller, is your body's going to stay up straight. You're just going to hinge at the hips to bring the body forward. So if you want to do the figure 4 stretch throughout the week, and you don't have time to lie on the floor or lie in your bed, this is a great way to do it. Again, you can do it sitting in a chair, one knee's bent, puts on the floor, other legs crossed, and then with a straight back, just bring your body forward until you feel a slight pull on the hip of the leg that's crossed over, and then switch. So again, the figure 4 stretch, we do it a lot lying on the floor. This is the seated version. Ooh, my left side needed this. The right side, I really feel it. Left side needed this stretch today. All right, we're gonna go back to the first side again. If sitting on the roller isn't comfy, sit in a chair, sit on the floor. And the leg, for this one, the leg can be out straight or it can be bent. Doesn't matter to me. We're gonna cross the other one over and give ourselves a foot massage. So I'm gonna come off the roller, just on the floor. You're gonna sit in a chair. Take your fingers around your big toe and take your big toe in a circle. And then reverse the circle. I have 5 to 10 circles. And then move on to the next toe. Give it, and if you feel your toes are curling, see if you can use your fingers to gently spread them out, stretch them out, and then go into the circle. That feels okay. And then move on to the next toe. Once all those toes have been stretched and circled around, take your fingers onto the top of your foot where your big toe is located, following along what's called your metatarsal. So where your base of your toe is located inside your foot. You feel your big toe bone going into the foot. You're going to place your fingers on top of that, 4 fingers on top, thumb on the arch of the foot, and gently roll back and forth. Give that a little massage. You can move the thumbs around the arch, wherever it feels good. And then move on to the next toe. So second toe and its metatarsal. The next toe. Continue all the way down. So you get to your pinky toe. Then take one hand on your big toe joint, one hand on your pinky toe joint, and gently spread out the ball of the foot and give it a little wiggle. And then we'll switch feet. All right, so first we'll start with the big toe, 5 to 10 circles. And then the next toe. And keep working your way down. If you feel toes, again, curling under, stretch them out a little bit. And then fingers on the top of that big toe with metatarsal and thumbs underneath. Your arch of the foot and the top of the foot, a little massage. And then move on to the next toe. And then continue to each toe. And then one hand on the big toe joint, one hand on the pinky toe joint. Give it a wiggle as you spread out the ball of the foot. All right, stick both legs out. Just let your feet wiggle and your legs wiggle for a second. Windshield wiper them.